What's going on YouTube? Chris here. I want to bring you all an update today of Bitcoin. And first of all, I just want to tell you, if you hear some noise in the background, we're having a terrible thunderstorm where I'm at. So guys, you're going to hear that a little bit. I apologize for it. But I wanted to let you know. And also, I'm dealing with some bronchitis right now, and I'm about ready to go pick up my amoxicillin right after this. So guys, just bear with me today. Voice is a little off. Things are a little crazy right now, but we're going to get into all this. I appreciate you being here with me today. And let's do this. So first of all, I want to start out with Bitcoin on the 1 week time frame. And what I'm happy about here is the fact that we are back up above this 200-week moving average. I think that is extremely important for us to get back up above that and to hold that level. And what you can see is that the volume did step back in here and we defended it. So now what we're going to have to do is pay attention to the actual close here. The more penetration, this candle right here, the more penetration we have into the previous week's candle, the more important this reversal potentially could be. So the more penetration you get up into this previous day candle, the stronger that buying pressure will be for us to potentially continue to make a move to the upside. But in terms of the 1 week time frame, that's what I'm looking at right now. We need to hold that as support as the next 2 days come about for us before we get this close on the weekly for Bitcoin. That's going to be extremely important for us. Overall, guys, you know, we have to hold that, and then it's going to be coming back up here and trying to get back over top of the 50 moving average, the 40, the 20, all those important moving averages that we pay attention to on a daily basis. We need to get back up above them, especially on a weekly basis, just like we were over here. You can see that beautiful move that we had. It was when we had a nice cross of all those moving averages and we started moving to the upside. We're nowhere near that, but it's good to see that we are finding some defense here on that 200 week moving average, excuse me. Next, what I want to do was go into our 1 day time frame. What we're going to do today for Bitcoin, we're going to work through all the time frames so I can really give you a good idea of what I'm looking at here for Bitcoin. So on the 1 day time frame now, what you're starting to see is some profit taking right around this 20-day moving average. That's a hotbed for cryptocurrency and for Bitcoin. I found that the 20 EMA is extremely effective. Of course, a lot of times it'll act as that strong resistance in a downtrend, and it'll act as strong support in an uptrend. So that's definitely something I do want to pay attention to. And what we also have to realize is that we've had 4 days of pretty strong upward pressure now. You can see the volume down here. So we may have to have a little bit of a cool off, set a higher low, and then potentially come back up here and try to get a candle close up above that 20 EMA. But the tough thing is we're below all these moving averages here, and you can see that 200-day moving average. That's going to be an important one for us to eventually climb back over top of. We really need to get back up above that, and that's going to be at $8,450. Right now our RSI is sitting at 41, so we want to hold up above that 40 and continue to make some moves. But we're going to have to see as the days and the weeks and all the hours, guys, as it just goes by. I mean, that's the main thing that I can tell you in this space, is that you have to take this 1 day at a time. And if you're trading, you know, on the hourly, you got to take it 1 hour at a time. If you're trading on the weekly, you got to take it 1 week at a time. That's all you can do. You can't force this market to do what you want it to do. You have to adapt to the market, and you have to trade with the market. That's extremely important. The next, what I wanted to look at here was our 4-hour time frame. What you can see is a little bit of selling off taking place. We had basically a shooting star candle up here, then we had a bit of a hanging man candle, and now we're starting to get a little downside action. What I would like to see us hold is going to be around 6,164. I'd like for us to find support off that. If we do not find support off that, I'd look down to this 20 EMA on the 4-hour time frame. That's going to be at 5,912. We want to hold that and then be back to this 50 moving average on the 4-hour time frame, and that's going to be at 5,490. We're nowhere near those levels yet. First of all, we'd really want to hold that, we'll call it $6,200. It's going to be important for us, because if we can hold up above that, set a higher low, and then potentially make that next move. We had an extremely hard drop right down through here, so a lot of times you can make that up on the backside. I wouldn't be shocked, you know, if we could come back up here and test this 200 moving average on the 4-hour time frame in the days to come, excuse me, guys. But it may take a little bit of retracement, may take a little bit of a cooling down period. But you can see how we entered that uptrend there. And remember, when you enter these trends, they can be short-term, intermediate term, or longer term. A short-term trend can peter out and just roll right over. Same with an intermediate term. Trends can change at any time. You always have to be aware of that. But in this uptrend, you can see how the volume accompanied it. We had big volume, and then when we sold off, we had lighter volume. Then we had big volume, then we sold off here, we had lighter volume. We had big volume, now we're potentially having lighter volume, and maybe we'll get that next move to the upside is what we're going to be looking for next. Okay, so those are the areas we need to hold, and then to the upside we need to get over that, we'll call it 6,727 off the real body, where we potentially had that shooting star candle, pretty close to a shooting star candle there. And then into the 1 hour time frame, what I really like to trade is on the 1 hour and the 15-minute in cryptocurrency. That seems the best for me. But you can see this long wick, so we had some profit taking right up in this area, but this is the area, guys, where we had that sharp drop really fast, where you can make it up on the backside, and that's a potential where we could maybe get back up to that $7,700 range. But you know, right now we just have to pay attention to what's taking place with that volume and what's happening with the trend here, because we don't want to start reversing back down in this trend and start entering a short-term downtrend. You can see the RSI now is starting to tail down a little bit. We had a little bit more selling pressure there, so we're going to have to see if we find support off this 20 on the 1 week, or I'm sorry, on the 1 hour, guys, or this 50. Those are the ones that I'm going to be paying a lot of attention to, because we did just get that golden cross we were talking about yesterday, where we had this 50 moving average on the 1 hour time frame cross over that 200, and then we got a nice little push out of that. So these are the things that I like to look for, but you can see how we entered that uptrend. We just need it to turn into something a little bit longer, guys. We don't want it to just be a short-term little uptrend here and then all of a sudden we start collapsing. What you can kind of see is it's very sloppy, but we almost had one of these inverted head and shoulders type deal. You can see the left shoulder, a lot of volume, then here's the head right in this area, then we had a little more volume for the right, and we potentially could have broke out through that neckline there at around, we'll call it, guys, this is a sloppy one here, I'd call it around $5,800. You could look and say that was the neckline. You could go up there around even that $6,300. Some people may put it down here around $5,500. There's just a lot of chop back and forth in here. But these are the things that I like to look at, and I like to put in my corner. I like to look at chart patterns. I like to look at moving averages. I like to follow the trend. And right now in the short term, the trend is up. So that's a good thing. And then we'll get into our 15-minute time frame. And if you guys get some from these videos, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. So what you're seeing here now is we are losing on the 15-minute time frame. We are losing that 50 moving average there, starting to drop down below it. So the next area of support, look at there about 6,300, we'd call it, and then I would look down here around that 200, and that's going to be at 59. So if we did drop back to 59, guys, 5,900, I wouldn't be that shocked. It's definitely something that I am keeping my eye on right now. We have had a beautiful move out of here, and sometimes you just need that retracement or that cooling down period so that you can make that next strong move to the upside. So that's what I wanted to bring to you guys. Just really watch that 200 week moving average, and make sure that we close on the weekly time frame up above that. And then on the 1 day, we really want to start challenging that 20 EMA and start having candle closes up above that. So guys, this is where I'm going to get off right now. Not feeling the best, like I said, on a bunch of cough medicine and everything, so I apologize if my speech wasn't the best, but I wanted to be here with y'all best that I could, and I appreciate you being here with me, guys. Like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. God bless you all. Take care.